If collecting is your love,
I want more.
That's not true. He likes me because I'm loud and a brat and he can make me shut up later. Oh, I wish I didn't say that out loud.
Oh, the hits just keep on coming.
Stream so that I have a good looking head. When you say website, I don't think action figures. Thomas! Thomas! You and I need to have a conversation. You and I need to have a conversation because on the back is numero uno. I love this book. I love it.
Always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. Before you get excited, that's a tail. The turtles had tails. Yeah, that's a tail. Thank you for pointing that it is a tail. That's a tail. The original turtles had tails. DCD Collects proudly presents signed, certified, and delivered. Each envelope has one 9.8 SIG Series comic book graded by CGC. These are hand-picked for you. 7 out of 10, my lord. It could take 6 months of being constipated before they die from the buildup. Not just any Iron Man. The Iron Man that saved us all.
in the box.
Doug! It's the captain!
And I gotta say, that shield was pretty fun to paint too. It's chunky.
It is chunky.
Chunky with the oil paint.
Yeah.
Call on me and collect with DCD. If collecting is your love,
I want more.
That's not true. He likes me because I'm loud and a brat and he can make me shut up later. Oh, I wish I didn't say that out loud.
Oh, the hits just keep on coming.
Stream so that I have a good looking head. When you say website, I don't think action figures. Thomas! Thomas! You and I need to have a conversation. You and I need to have a conversation because on the back is numero uno. I love this book. I love it.
Always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. Before you get excited, that's a tail. The turtles had tails. Yeah, that's a tail. Thank you for pointing that it is a tail. That's a tail. The original turtles had tails. DCD Collects proudly presents signed, certified, and delivered. Each envelope has one 9.8 SIG Series comic book graded by CGC. These are hand-picked for you. 7 out of 10, my lord. It could take 6 months of being constipated before they die from the buildup. Not just any Iron Man. The Iron Man that saved us all.
in the box.
Doug! It's the captain!
And I gotta say, that shield was pretty fun to paint too. It's chunky.
It is chunky.
Chunky with the oil paint.
Yeah.
Call on me and collect with DCD. If collecting
I want more.
That's not true. He likes me because I'm loud and a brat and he can make me shut up later. Oh, I wish I didn't say that out loud.
Oh, the hits just keep on coming.
Stream so that I have a good looking head. When you say website, I don't think action figures. Thomas! Thomas! You and I need to have a conversation. You and I need to have a conversation because on the back is numero uno. I love this book. I love it.
Always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. Before you get excited, that's a tail. The turtles had tails. Yeah, that's a tail. Thank you for pointing that it is a tail. That's a tail. The original turtles had tails. DCD Collects proudly presents signed, certified, and delivered. Each envelope has one 9.8 SIG Series comic book graded by CGC. These are hand-picked for you. 7 out of 10, my lord. It could take 6 months of being constipated before they die from the buildup. Not just any Iron Man. The Iron Man that saved us all.
In the box!
Not to
Doug! It's the captain!
And I gotta say, that shield was pretty fun to paint too. It's chunky.
It is chunky.
Chunky with the oil paint.
Yeah.
Call on me and collect with DCD. If collecting is your love,
I want more.
That's not true. He likes me because I'm loud and a brat and he can make me shut up later. Oh, I wish I didn't say that out loud.
Oh, the hits just keep on coming.
Stream so that I have a good looking head. When you say website, I don't think action figures. Thomas! Thomas! You and I need to have a conversation. You and I need to have a conversation because on the back is numero uno. I love this book. I love it.
always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. Before you get excited, that's a tail. The turtles had tails. Yeah, that's a tail. Thank you for pointing that it is a tail. That's a tail. The original turtles had tails. DCD Collects proudly presents signed, certified, and delivered. Each envelope has one 9.8 SIG Series comic book graded by CG.
Yo. What's going on, Sapphoros? Hey, Don. Carlos, Hex, Crystal, Juan, and the babies. How y'all doing? Oh, hey, Crystal, Juan. Don't you just hate Pat McAfee? Sometimes it's fun for non-wrestlers to join in and do cameos. I mean, Bad Bunny was fun, right? Mike Tyson, numerous times, fun. God, but Pat McAfee, just what a... None of it was necessary. I love you, Hellbolt. Yeah, it was. You know what else I thought was crap? Can we talk about the inequality of the women's championship? What did they get? Like 7.5 minutes? Come on. Truth be told, the women tend to be better technical wrestlers than most of the men. I say most. I'm not talking about, my luchadors, my flyers, my technical guys. But I mean, the women they're all right. I'll get into it. Women in wrestling, and I'm saying this from fandom, as somebody who grew up watching wrestling when Fabulous Moolah was around, and women always had to do more work to get the recognition and the credit than men did. I'm not making this a sexist thing, but in wrestling, it is a sexist thing. Very much so. Just like it is in the UFC. Women have to put up a better show for things to happen. I mean, take a look at how many fights the UFC gives fight of the night, knockout of the night, or submission of the night to for women compared to men. Yeah, I know there's more men matches, but I've seen women's matches that blew the doors off of main card fights and them not get credit. And I would rather watch anybody be a good technical wrestler than somebody be a giant meathead. Like I'll give you an example. Old school Kane. Hell, Kane in any era. Kane, not a technical wrestler. Kane, big guy who slams people. I mean, even Bam Bam Bigelow at least had agility as a big man. Now, I know Bam Bam Bigelow had his own issues, but at least he had some agility and could do some wrestling. When given the chance, their matches are better than the men's. Because they're technically better. They're technically beautiful. And I'm not subjectifying saying, oh, they're beautiful. Like, they have to, and this is the point I was alluding to, they have to be technically better than the men because they're always going to be like, oh, that's women's wrestling. No, it's just wrestling. They happen to be two women, but it's wrestling. And they have to be technically cleaner. They have to do it with more flourish than the men do. Because typically, this is a generalization, women are smaller than men. I know it's a shock to some people. Statistically speaking, women are smaller than men. So for a smaller body to be able to do technical wrestling, you have to do it with more flourish, or else it doesn't look like it's that hard. When a big guy does something technical, it looks really difficult because it's a big person doing something technical. When a smaller person does it, it doesn't seem like it's like, oh, they're a little person. They're supposed to be able to do that stuff. So the women's matches tend to have more of a technical side to them. Now, I will say this. They do have one unfair advantage. Hair flips. Now, I know there's a couple of guys, AJ Styles, that have mastered the male hair flip. Undertaker, in his finisher, the hair flip, when he would cross their arms over them. Yeah, the hair flip is a big part of it. So the women have the advantage of having the hair be an extra accessory in the technicality. Live on Monday was fire. I didn't catch Monday. I scrolled. I didn't watch the full thing. I just went to the tubes and found individual matches and watched the parts that I wanted to watch. I'm a casual fan. I'll watch the match. I'm a casual fan, so I will look for certain things. I like flyers. I was a Hardy Boys fan. I like Rey Mysterio, Penta. I like the technical wrestlers. I like Lucha Libre. I like the technical fighting style. I grew up during the era of Hulk Hogan, who only had an elbow drop and a leg drop, and Andre the Giant, who was just a big guy who would maul people. Brutus the Barber Beefcake had a couple of things. I mean, for goodness sake, Lex Luger had a fake metal arm plate storyline because Lex Luger was not a technical wrestler. So it's nice to see the evolution of wrestling into a technical feat. When Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was one of your more technical wrestlers back in the day. Even Superfly Jimmy Snuka, even though he murdered somebody, he did have some technical ability and was a high flyer and one of the early high flyers in that manner. But I'll watch it. Soul Against Liv, got it. But I was just shocked at the disparity in the time that the women had. I'm wondering if somebody was injured. Have you ever seen Hulk Hogan matches in Japan when he was doing drop kicks? I caught him doing one against the giant guy. I can't remember his name. What is... It's the same guy that beat the crap out of the Polish wrestler for not selling his moves. Tops do... What does Tops do with buybacks? So I'm going to have to ask for clarification. What is a Tops buyback, or what do they do to acquire their buybacks? No, hey, what's up, Scoobs? How you doing, buddy? Not Andre. No, it was an Asian guy, Japanese gentleman. I can't remember his name. He's one of the most famous one. He was like 6'4", and he was for the longest time considered the greatest Japanese wrestler and technical wrestler in Japan. I can't remember his name, and I suppose I literally read an article about him maybe 3 weeks ago. And I can't remember it. Was like one of the first people in the Japanese Hall of Fame. They're buying back any Roman Reigns and Liv Morgan cards. So, what a buyback is, Topps will either announce a buyback, like saying, hey, we are buying back blah, blah, blah cards at X value, or they literally will shop eBay and buy back some of their previously issued cards, and then usually it means they're going to have the person sign them and then reissue them, or at the very least stamp them. When they acquire them, they will either have the person sign them and then release them in a different product, or they will foil stamp them saying that, here, actually, I have an example. I have a buyback card right here. The 69 Lando is a buyback. Oh, it's Jiminy Crickets. The 69 Lando is a buyback. So, using this as the example, the easiest way that I can explain it. So, they found this card probably online because they never announced a buyback for this. Yeah, exactly. So, what they will do is they will take, this is originally in 1979, 80, whatever year this was. I know I'm supposed to know that. Just get past the fact that I don't know that. So they got the Starfile card. They bought 9 of them. They stamped this one 6 out of 9, and then they put, all right, we bought this. This is a 2018 Topps Archive SIG Series card now. So they stamp it with 2018 Archives, because it was the year that it came out. They had Billy D. Williams sign it, and they released it into a future product. So what they were doing is, so if they bought back your cards, Liv Morgan and Roman Reigns cards, what that means is they're going to do one of two things. Either they're going to have Roman sign it and then put it into a future, probably a SIG series, because Topps has never done a WWE SIG series. Holy crap, I think you just cracked the code. Ladies and gentlemen, expect a Topps SIG Signature Series Archives for WWE coming up. If they're buying them back now, that means they're going to get them signed and or stamped, and you're going to see them in a future product. So you technically could have a chance at pulling your own card again, but it'll be altered. And Jey Uso, yeah. I'm willing to wager they are going to do an Archives 6 series. Bet they're doing an Archive 6 series. Oh, biscuits. So, went to the doctor on Monday. It's a little worse than we thought. So he believes, though, you're welcome. Anything for you all. My neck. I have spinal stenosis. Spinal stenosis is where the channel that my nerve runs through narrows. So there's a couple things they do. Like usually in the beginning, they just give you like steroids or anti-inflammatories, and they inject it in there, and it keeps the inflammation down. Bone spurs can occur. If they do, they'll go in and grind them down, or the worst case scenario is they'll dig a channel. They'll put you under, and they'll take a knife and cut the inside of your spine, the bones out, and make slivers of the bone. Pull them out so you have more room for your nerves and spinal cord. So originally my stenosis was only in my lower back, and now it is creeped up to my neck. So MRI comes on Monday. I have the MRI, and they're going to see the extent of the slip disc, or if it's just the stenosis that's bothering me. Shots are in the near future. Painkiller shots, anti-inflammatory shots, steroid shots, which I desperately need because I'm still in pain. 3.5 weeks of nonstop constant pain. Although last night I did get to sleep a whole night's worth of sleep without waking up, which is a shock. But chances are they'll have to take a peek inside my neck in the future. What does that mean for all of you? Nothing, because it's actually not as bad as it sounds. You're out as long as the incision is not sealed. So, week, 2 weeks. What up, Pat? How you doing? What else? Sabres had an amazing come-from-behind victory in Game 1, but couldn't pull the come-from-behind victory in Game 2. So, series tied 1-1. Next game is tomorrow at 7 Eastern for Pacific. I'll be watching. Sabres didn't look bad. They're just... Boston is collapsing the net. They are on defense. They're playing a collapsing box, and they are really putting their defensemen in front of their goalies to block shots. Really not letting any passes come to the high point. They're doing a very good job of countering how Buffalo does offense. I believe our guys are young enough and agile enough that you'll see a lot more dump and chase. You're going to see a lot more guys stick handling. It's not going to be the 2-on-1s and the 3-on-2s that we've been seeing before. I think you're going to see more technical games coming up now that it's tied. Tomorrow starts the NFL draft. Oh boy. The Raiders are going to pick Mendoza. They already said they're taking Mendoza. So we know Mendoza, basically the New York Jets are on the clock. And the New York Jets have a lot of draft capital coming into this draft. If you're a Jets fan, you are probably pretty excited about this upcoming draft. Now, unless your quarterback is Ty Simpson, I don't think you'll be taking a quarterback this year. I think you'll give Geno his year to be a Band-Aid. And I think you will heavily pursue a certain Manning next year. Because Arch will probably declare next year. If you're a Buffalo fan, you're hoping KC Concepcion falls to you at 26, or you're moving up 6 spots or 7 spots. Either Minnesota at 18. You're going to want Minnesota at 18. Carolina's going to want another receiver. Dallas is going to want another receiver. Pittsburgh could use another receiver. Chargers. I think Chargers don't need a wide receiver. They're good enough. So it is going to be very, very interesting. I see a lot of trading down in this draft. I agree with the pundits that say this is not a top-heavy draft. This is a good rounds 2 through 4 draft. You're going to get a lot of starters and value in rounds 2 through 4. Your first round outside of the top 5, maybe 6 picks, are second round material. It's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. With that said, wide receivers are at a premium, so that is the exception to the rule. Edge rushers also are an exception to that rule. Did you say the Steelers could use another wide receiver? I did. The Steelers can use a lot of things. They can use a lot of things. First of all, quick question, Don. Who's the quarterback of the Steelers? Philadelphia need a wide receiver. So if the trade rumors are to be believed, Philly may need a wide receiver. Good news. I've been working out. Got the 40. That is solid 17 minutes. Right now, I'm taking a look at your wide receiver. Hello, me lord. Hey, folks, don't let Lord Brownie fool you. His birthday is on Tuesday. I'm looking at your wide receiver core right now, Don. DK Metcalf, obviously. Michael Pittman, obviously. You need Roman Wilson or A.T. Perry or Darnell Washington. Not Darnell Washington, I'm sorry. You need a wide receiver, bud. Skronik can play third receiver. He could also conceivably be slot. Roman Wilson's more suited for slot. But what production do we have out of Roman Wilson so far? Yeah, you don't need an X or a Y, so you're going to trade down. I guarantee you are going to officially 1 month today. Time flies. Time flies. Cheers. Don, I will guarantee you that you guys do take a receiver, but it'll be in a later round. You are not going to be interested in a first-round wide receiver. If I were the Steelers, I like your receiving core. If I'm looking at the first 2-round value, you're not taking a wide receiver in the first. You're not taking a tight end in the first. God, I hope Caleb Johnson actually gets on the field next year. Of course, with Dowdle there, I doubt it. I mean, if you guys want to take a chance, Ty Simpson at quarterback. I like Ty Simpson. You guys aren't picking until 21, though. Ty will be there at 21. It's not unreasonable to take a quarterback that may need a little backup. You have no idea what Pete's right? Yeah, listen. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys took a swing at Ty Simpson at 21. He's a safe pick at 21. Is there anything you need more than a quarterback? I mean, Ty Simpson is a maybe. He should be good. He's got good pedigree. Is he NFL ready? He doesn't have to be if he sits behind Aaron Rodgers for a year. If Aaron Rodgers comes back and, decides to skip mini camp like he always does. Aaron Rodgers' MO for the last 3 seasons is, I don't know if I'm going to play. Because I almost called him what he was. The B word is he's a nonconformist. He's selfish. He's selfish. I like Will Howard. I mean, if you want to give him a shot, you're going to put him in all 4 preseason games as the starter if that's the case. He will wait until the preseason is either half over. He doesn't do mini camps. If you look at the last 3 years, check to see when Aaron Rodgers reported to any of his teams that he played for. He does not do preseason. He does not do mini camps or involuntary camp. He doesn't do it. That's beneath him. He believes that he knows better than those people. I hate Aaron Rodgers. I hate Aaron Rodgers as a player as much as I hate Deshaun Watson as a person. There's your hot take. You can clip that and send it to both of them. They won't care. I'm nobody. Everybody I saw has Ty Simpson going in like the 2nd or 3rd round. I disagree. I think Ty Simpson somebody will take him in the 1st. Even if it's a situation where somebody trades out with Seattle in the 32nd spot and just grabs him to get the extra year on it, Ty Simpson goes in the 1st round. Thanks, Brownie. Average, eager, grasshopper, swift rage. I can see that. Giants. Get an offensive lineman for the Giants. Get an offensive lineman, or they just got themselves an edge rusher and a DT. Simpson is the reddish maroon color jerseys. Is it Oklahoma? Alabama, I'm sorry. Crimson Tide. I was in the right region. I knew it was SEC. Oklahoma's not SEC. Yeah. He goes in the 1st round. I mean, the Cardinals could take him. I don't know if he goes at 3, though. I think the Cardinals could trade back. The Cardinals could trade 3. I think the Cardinals could trade back from 3 and still get him mid. Simpsons come from Springfield. Duh, that's right. That's true. You got me. Zona could take him at 3. I think it's a little high. I think they could trade back a few spots and still get Simpson. I would not let him fall past, well, let's see. Tennessee does not need a quarterback. Giants does not need a quarterback. The Browns need a quarterback, but they have Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's supposed to be coming back and starting, and they've got MVP Shador. I don't think Cleveland has the ball sack to draft another quarterback at 6. Commanders do not need a quarterback. New Orleans Saints, they have Schuff. Is Schuff enough? I don't think they take it. It's true, Hellbolt. Kansas City Chiefs does not need a quarterback. The Giants are back at 10 with their trade from Cincinnati. They don't need a quarterback. The Dolphins. Do the Dolphins take Ty Simpson at 11? I could be him a Steeler, though. I can see for some reason I get Ty Simpson as a Steeler. I feel it. Just realized the Jets also have the 16th pick. They could take him at 16. I think if Pittsburgh wants him, they got to jump to 15. Trade with Tampa. Tampa moves back, picks up probably a 3rd round and maybe a 6th. Jets feasibly could take Simpson at 16. Geno's going to play year 1. Ty Simpson needs to sit a year. Ravens, man, they're not that. Listen, all the dead cap space they would have with what's his name there? Oh man, that would be too expensive to swap out. And it's a good idea because I am not a believer in Jackson. I've never been a Jackson believer. I've never liked him. I have a problem with quarterbacks that have a Wonderlic score of 2. Time and time again, low IQ quarterbacks, and I mean football IQ, folks. I mean football IQ. Low IQ quarterbacks do not serve well. Who was that kid from Texas that went to the Titans and the Bills? And he just couldn't handle sports. And then you had Jamarcus Russell, another low football IQ quarterback, could not handle it. Jameis Winston, not a high football IQ player coming out of college. Has his moments, but not. He's no Ryan Fitzpatrick. Vince Young, thank you. It was Vince Young that came out, and he had a pretty low Wonderlic score too. Jets. I think it's Jets or the Berg. Nobody else is in desperate need. Miami is an interesting thought. Their quarterbacks are doo-doo. So those would be the 3 teams targeting. I just feel like he should be a Steeler. I think it'd be a solid Steeler. If I'm not mistaken, he's a big boy. Ollie. Boy, oh boy, Arizona. It's an interesting thought. Good old Joey Arrington. So we looked at a house today to rent because we're not going to buy a house in California. It's too expensive. So we're going to continue renting. But now we're looking at renting a house. And there's one right by our apartment that is almost the same price as our apartment, but is an entire house. And so we're looking at the house today. And the current occupants were there. It was a gentleman and his wife. Very pleasant human beings. And as he's showing me around, he goes, I said something about, we moved our studio to here. And he's like, oh, what do you do? I was like, oh, I'm just a pitch guy. He's like, oh, I thought you did music. I was like, no. He's like, oh, I'm a record producer. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, okay. That's cool. Older gentleman. All right. And then he starts like taking me a walk through the house, and he has a bunch of original Ralph Steadman pieces of art in his house. And anybody who knows me and knows my fine art love, I freaking love Ralph Steadman. Ralph Steadman is arguably my favorite artist that is alive right now. This stuff is unbelievable. I love him. I'm like, oh my God, that's Ralph Steadman. I was like, I love Ralph Steadman. He goes, you know Ralph Steadman? I'm like, I love Ralph Steadman. I started rifling off all the stuff that he had did, and the guy goes, oh, you really do like Ralph Steadman? I was like, yeah. He's like, that's an original. That's me. He painted me. And I was like, how did you get Ralph Steadman to paint you? He's like, oh, he's a friend of mine. I'm sorry, what did you say? Yeah, Ralph's a friend of mine. We're good friends. Sir, you're playing with me. He's like, no. Here, come to this room. He's like, I did a couple of decks of cards with him. And I'm thinking, oh, Doug is gonna poop all over his pants. He's like, yeah, I did some sets of cards with him, some custom things. He did a set of cards. He goes, here is, right? He's like, he had an uncut sheet of the cards, and then Ralph signed them. And I was like, the guy, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. At the end of the thing, he's like, gives me his business card. He goes, we should talk and hang out. And I'm like, yes, we should. Yes, we should. But not like that, because I didn't want to be weird. I was like, yeah, that'd be great. And listen to this. Only in California, people. He gave me a parting gift. He's like, hey, I got something for you. Thanks for coming by and looking at the house. What? These were the decks of cards that he made. He's like, here you go, man. These are for you. He's like, listen, they're not cheap. He's like, because I was like, oh, we always wanted to do a set of cards. One of the things and we had mentioned to you, we want to do a deck of cards, and we were thinking about getting artists, and I actually ended up showing him a bunch of our artists' work. And he's like, yeah, those would be wonderful for people to make a set of cards. And he's actually going to hook me up with the company that makes these. He's like, these things are about $25 a pack. That's what fine cards go for. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. And I was like, well, thank you. And then he said, he goes, so you talk to a lot of artists, and he was testing my knowledge. He's like, do you know who William Stout is? I was like, Bill Stout? Yeah, I know Bill. I've met Bill twice. We talked dinosaurs. He's like, you do know Mr. Stout. I was like, yeah. I said, we were talking about our favorite dinosaurs, and honestly, he told me his, and I forgot what it was, because I was just kind of in awe of, I'm talking to William Stout. But I told him about mine was Ankylosaurus, and he jotted a quick Ankylosaurus down. He goes, "Oh, then here, let me give these to you too." I was like, "What?" So I went to look at an apartment or a house to rent, and the gentleman was so kind and so gracious that he hooked me up with like $75 worth of cards. Did you happen to drop Lilia's photography as a possible album cover for some hint, nudge, nudge? So I looked him up. I did not recognize a single. Hello, Saporos. I did not recognize a single artist that he. I reckon one artist that he worked with. But of course I looked him. I got his business card, so I looked him up using his business card. Like, oh, let me find out who this gentleman is, so that I'm not just I don't say anything insulting, which I'll probably do anyway because I can't help it. I'm in pain, Saporos. Spinal stenosis is what they have garnered from my X-ray. MRI is on Monday. He believes it's an S5 herniation. So it'll be physical therapy, shots, and hope that they don't have to carve grooves into my spinal cord. So I Googled him. He's a Grammy Award-winning producer. And I'm like, holy buckets. What a freaking random thing. So yeah, he's got a Grammy. And we talked, Melissa and James went and looked at the house. I didn't grade grooves in the spinal cord, right? Spinal cord grooves. Spinal grooves. There it is. Burroughs got it too, just after I did. Guy was awesome, really kind dude. And yeah, we talked, like literally just talked about art and collecting, and he was like, oh, he's like, you actually do know your stuff. And I'm like, hey, it's my job. So yeah, like random. Doug doesn't know about the cards yet. I'm going to see Doug tomorrow. I cannot wait to be like, hey, Doug, look what I got. Oh, and I got, he knows the guy who owns the company that makes the cards, which is why he has 3 decks made. Money Mitch! Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the birthday boy, Money Mitch! Happy birthday, Money Mitch! Money Mitch turned 21 today. He can now legally drink a beer. Salute! Oh, it's so good. Oh. Money Mitch, I got to hang out with, in an impromptu, a Grammy award-winning record producer. And he gave me gifts for visiting his home. He is a friend. He is a friend of Ralph Steadman's, which is what really blew my mind. And he gave me these. These are like limited edition. I think these ones are still available. You can go to the website and find them. They're $25 a pack. These are out of print. This is actually, that's why it's in a deck protector. It's out of print. So, these ones are used, though. These ones have been opened. But yeah. Yeah. So these are really awesome. I'm still kind of like, I can't believe that just happened. And then he's like, oh, we talked about William Stout, chatted with him about William Stout's art and how he did a thing with him. And I was like, goodness gracious, good golly. Good golly, Miss Molly. Yeah, it was really cool. It was a really cool impromptu day. It's been a day. You still in Texas? Nice. All right. I talked to Paul Maitland today, and he gave me he's not going to show me the work, but he did say he wanted to run the list of things he's going to do for Paul's Picks by me, because he didn't want to do something that wouldn't go over well. So I have a list of what he's going to paint, but I don't know what. It's just the themes. He didn't tell me specifics. He's like, something from this, and he's like, I want to do something from this. If I did, what would you take out? And I said, well, this one I know we don't have any hardcore fans of. Paul's Picks. Sounds like be the best collection ever. Yeah. And I was like, he listed a name. I was like, we don't have any fans of that person. I was like, so I don't know if that will go over well. And he's like, I'll swap that one out. And he's like, anybody else? And I was like, I personally have no idea what this is. And he's like, yeah, that was a deep cut. He goes, I just thought it would be cool. I was like, I mean, if you think it's cool, do it. I'm not going to tell you not to do it. I just don't know what it is. But the rest of the list is pretty dope. It's a wide range of things. There's a whole bunch of things. It's stuff that came from his noodle, so it's gonna be a good time. But I'm excited. And then Carlos is working on a project for us. Doug doesn't even know that, but he is. And then Daniel Gonzalez is actually busy. He's not going to be doing very much anytime soon, but he is going to be working on a comic book that he can't talk about. And he has a gallery showing that he needs to get ready for too. So I think we've seen the last of Daniel Gonzalez for the near future. Is it gnome related? It's not gnome related, Councilman Chef. I believe Carlos is going to do some video game stuff. Book Sapluros. And you don't know about it, Sapluros. Even if you say, I heard you're working on a comic book, he'll be like, what are you talking about? Folks, I want to bring your attention to something. And then I want all of you that listened to me to give me my flowers. sure did. Let me give you an example. This is not the only Dungeon Crawler Carl book that is going to come out before the graphic novel does. They're doing a free comic book day version. There is going to be a free comic. Are they out yet? No, but they're sold out. We receive them, I believe, the first or second week of May. They are not in hand. None of these are in hand. But they are going to be, May 2nd is Free Comic Book Day, and they are doing Free Comic Book Day, a Dungeon Crawler Carl, for Free Comic Book Day. They're going for about $7 to $8 a copy. It is the exact same book. Just a different Free Comic Book Day cover. So when I said that people need to buy these, and those who listened, you're welcome. You're welcome. Remember, I love Scotch. And I love the Bills. Does that make Free Comic Book Day version the first appearance? That is a great question. That's what I want to know. But based on the sales I've seen, people, regardless, are still paying through the nose for this one. And here's the kicker. I believe they're both going to be considered the same preview. If you go back and you look historically at comics that are number 0, and this is a number 0. I did buy a copy, by the way, of this just because I want all of the variants because I'm going to super collect this. I literally bought one copy just so that for me, my copy. I did not go and acquire 14 copies of this. I bought one. Because typically number 0 never gets the tag. It's considered the preview. This book right here, the original listing, that's number 1. That's the difference in my mind. Historically, issue 0 has not meant the same as issue 1. This is issue 0. Historically, if you look at them, they don't credit 0 with being the first appearance. So, regardless, literally today, this copy sold for $165. I knew it would be huge. Also, this is going to be the one people want because it's the absolute Batman homage. That's the hot-ish right there. Free Comic Book Day variant. Literally going to be millions of them. Free Comic Book Day. They are printing millions of them. Even they're... I'm going to take the limited one over the one they print millions of. Again, I bought both because I want all of them. The one to get is going to be the Absolute Batman homage. That is going to be the book to get. Even if for some reason they declare the Free Comic Book Day one a first appearance, the other one is still going to be more valuable because of how limited it is. Even if it doesn't get first appearance, it'll be more valuable. So there you go. I knew it was going to be a big book. As soon as I saw it, I looked at the cover and I went, yep, that's the one. That's it. Folks, that is it. Vault Comics is putting out the Free Comic Book Day copy. They're putting out both. So I don't think they're going to undercut themselves by doing that. Either way, the one that you guys bought, you're welcome. Right? Yeah. I am so happy I grabbed that. So happy I grabbed that. I will also be... I bought one copy on eBay of the Princess Donut cover just in case I can't get to a comic store on the 2nd. I don't want to have to be like, oh my God, I have to be there to get this book. I don't want to sit in the lines for Free Comic Book Day. I would rather pay $8 for something that is free than spend 2 hours of my time getting that free item. My time is worth more than, my 2 hours of my time is worth more than $8. That is how I saw that in my head. I could go to the store, and of course if I go to the store I'm going to buy way more than just the free comics, or I could just buy the one and not fight the crowd when I get there. And you know that people are going to be going into Free Comic Book Day and they're going to be just taking stacks of that comic. Stacks of them. The one person's going to grab the whole stack of 50 and walk out and be a jerk. Well, yeah, I mean, some of the shops they'll hand you just one at a time. Free Comic Book Day, I've seen a ton of shops. I've been to numerous shops where they just put a stack out on the table and they just say, take one. There's always one jerk. There's always one guy at Target buying all the blasters so kids can't have them. Oh, absolutely. That's why you wait until they get outside and then you knock the books out of their hand and they're all trash. Oh, sorry, buddy. Didn't see you there. Oh, sorry, man. Oh, man. Oh, wrecked all those comics. Oh, that's awful. Well, they were free, so I didn't damage any valuable property, thank God. Hey, man, I'm going to sue you. You ruined my stuff. They had a zero value. They were free. It's nothing more than me knocking a pamphlet out of your hand. It was free. They have no discernible value. Sorry, sir. It is not, did not damage any of your property that has value. You can't assign value to an item that's free. Not until you've listed it for a price. Let me go in there and I'll get you a fresh one. I absolutely would too. I'm that guy. I will knock them out of your hands. Like, oh, psh, oh, buddy, look at you. You dropped them. Oh, also, folks, there's another thing that I want you to bring to your attention too. And this one is a little bit late, but I still see a ton of value in it. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong letter. Look at that. In for a penny, in for a pound. I like where your head's at, Lord Brownie. Listen, I am sorry as I'm Craig. Sorry, not sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I broke your comics. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
Disagree. Lego gift with purchase will have value. Just Google when you get it. Yeah, I know, but you had to purchase something to get that though. It's a gift with purchase. Free comic book day is just free. They just hand them out. I'm willing to wager that I'm not going to get in as much trouble as somebody who wrecks something that has actual value would get into. Because then you'd have to, well, we're speculating the value is this. Google says it's this. It was acquired for free. The cop will just say, go in there and get one. All right, so here's what I'm talking about. Right here. Omega Men number 3 is the first appearance of Lobo. I want to point a few things out here. Yes, now that the movie is coming out, once they announced it, this book quadrupled. It was $25 for a raw copy. I know, I looked at it when they announced it. Raw copies are between 50 and $100. But go on a little trip with me real quick, because here's where I see the value. The graded comic, $3.50. But if you can settle for a 9.6, which is still a great number for a book that came out in 1983, which puts it at, what is 83? Bronze Age? It's not modern. Where's my comic book people at? I think 83 is bronze still, right? I figure Sapulros would know. Or Craig. We're in tinfoil age. Yeah, pretty much. Aluminum age. Aluminum age. I think it's considered Bronze Age. But 9.6 for a 43-year-old comic book is still a very good grade. And if you're collecting it just to collect it, so you're telling me the price halves, more than halves for a 9.6. So I say, if you want to build value, when the movie comes out, and by the way, I've seen the previews of the movies. Yeah, so it is Bronze Age. Okay, see, I'm not dumb. I mean, I'm stupid. I'm just not dumb. Or wait, maybe I'm not stupid, just dumb. I'm just an idiot. So I've seen some of the screenshots from the movies. They've leaked a bunch of the movie screenshots. This movie looks phenomenal. Lobo is also going to be the anti-hero, and I want to say they're talking about putting him in Supergirl. Can somebody else confirm that they've heard? Brownie, you would know. Did I not hear they were talking about Lobo being one of the villains in the upcoming Superman and Supergirl series? I know the next Superman one is Mastermind. They've already started shooting that. There's already you can see the new symbol and the that thing. But I have heard rumors that we are going to see Lobo in either Supergirl or another soon feature outside of Lobo's own. When that happens, regardless, when this movie comes out and people see it and see how good he looks as Lobo, every level of this comic is going to get a bump. Quite frankly, the 9.8s might not see too much of a bump because they already got hit when it was announced. But this 9.6 at $140, that's got to be a $200 book then. Maybe even $250 because of the age. But you're telling me this person has a raw for $125 and you're just not going to spend the extra bucks? There it is again, $150. You could probably best offer that for $135. Oh, look it. I was watching it and they did send me an offer for $135. There you go. You just received an offer of $135.99. That's a good deal. I believe there's a lot of value in that very specific book. I wouldn't go as low as 7.5. I would not go that low. I mean, spend the extra $35 and get 2 points higher. One bid, $50, 6 days left. Yeah, that'll still end around $150. I'll put $1 on that if anybody wants to take that bet. Bronze Age, there it is. So, yep, my comic book collectors, that should be on your list, on your peripherals. Reprint, womp womp. Yeah, again, I'd rather pay the $25 for the point two. Somebody will snipe that, causing that to go to 150. It'll end up with two bids. One person will put a qualifying bid of like 150 in there. Somebody else will probably put 140. It'll end up at like 150, whatever the person's top bid was at. So those are just things that I saw that I figured I'd share with you. If I had disposable income, which I don't because we're about to move in the next month and a half, I would be grabbing a 9.6 in Mega Men number 3. I'd be holding it, waiting for the bump. I don't think I have anything else for y'all. I think that was all of the things that I had to go over today. Tomorrow, I am going to have the draft on. I can't have the sound on because it is illegal for me to reproduce the sound or the video. But I may have my earpiece in, depending on where my other speaker is. And we might do a draft viewing party. Now, I know the draft starts before I get on, but tomorrow will probably be all about the draft. I don't think we're going to be talking about much else. Friday. I believe on Friday we are getting our Disney Neon boxes. We are getting Megas and we are getting Blasters. I don't know if we're getting both. Blasters are still available on Tops. Those are only going to be just a couple bucks difference. I think it's going to be like $4 more expensive with us than it is on Tops because we have to pay shipping. So we're going to break even on the Blasters, but we do have some Megas that are coming. I don't know if you looked at the Neon. It is a pretty awesome Disney product. I did not like. Do we appreciate it? Does it mean I don't have to show up tomorrow? You know, if you don't want to, you can take the day off, man. I really like the Neon. I did not like the first one Disney did where it had the fake signatures. No, Doug won't mind. Where it had the fake signatures of the people. I thought that was trash. These have the actual original voice actors' autographs on them. Jodie Benson is Ariel in these. So these ones we did dip into because there's real chances at autos. I also think that the villain series, the way they did the insert series for villains is gorgeous.
I bought a box of Mega for Mrs. the Breaker and Jimmy. It arrives on Friday. I'm probably not going to break theirs on camera. We're probably just going to do that as a family at home. I'll let Jimmy and Mel open up some cards. So not only did we get some for DCD Collects, I like the product so much that I bought a box myself for my household. So I will show you the hits that we get. But the acetate cards, yep. This set is pretty cool. The neon set is pretty cool. The first one they did, it was blah. But this one's cool. We had a shot at the first one too. We just didn't see it as viable. But this one, Doug and I both liked. I liked it so much, like I said, I bought myself. You wish neon was more neon though? Yeah, it's the inserts that really have the effect. Not the standard cards, but it's definitely better than the first offering. So, we'll see. We will see. Yeah, well, I mean, that's Topps for you. Topps base has never been... I mean, think about it. Baseball, they just put a wood background. Donruss had like the fake laser background in the 80s. I mean, there was never thought put into base cards. It's insert chasing. I mean, honestly, for these, most people are going to toss the base cards once they got the first set. So, we're insert hunting. The blasters have a Snowcap exclusive, and the Megas have some parallel exclusive, I believe. I mean, that's what we're hunting for anyway. So, tune in. We'll have them on Friday. Should be fun. They're just fun boxes. They're I think they're gonna be like $29.99. Literally like a $4 difference. So they're not $80 a blaster. Oh,
But nobody
ladies
has
and gentlemen, Jason Enos. Hello, my friend.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Was it Lego or was it drawing? I didn't get to catch you today, so I need to know all about it. I believe Hellbolt, you are a mod. I believe he should be able to post his Instagram and his website on here. You actually got to draw today. Woohoo! That's a win. All right, so if you're coming from Jason, you don't know who I am. I am DC. This is DCD Collects. We work with artists to bring original art into the hands of the many. We go to Comic-Cons in Nevada and California to acquire original pieces and signed items that are not easy to get for people all over the world, and then we sell them to those people all over the world. Currently, we have a couple of original art things available. If you go to dcdcollects.com, which is the little logo that is like, if I could point, pushing right through Spider-Man, it's right here. There it is. Just add a .com. Dr. Elvin Hernandez and Brian Kaiser Tillman are in that. And this back here has 3 amazing artists. This is robots. We have Jay Sullivan, who famously worked with Transformers comics and G.I. Joe, as well as Kate Crawford and the legendary Lucasfilm artist, and amongst other things, of Lee Cozy. Now, Lee Cozy stuff's, it's not out. It's all inside the envelope. You gotta pull that and find it. Working on some chibi sketches, because I suck at drawing cartoony things. Brain melts at bending realism, so I just went for a little practice. Hey, man. If you do not push yourself, you will never get better. If anybody reads lit RPGs like Dungeon Crawler Carl or He Who Fights Monsters, you will know you're not going to level up unless you put yourself in danger's way.
Sometimes Danger's way is just painting or drawing something you're not used to painting or drawing. I mean, think about Jackson Pollock. If he wouldn't have dropped his paints on that canvas that one day, he would never have known that he was going to be a super famous artist. Just fight boars in Westfall for 6 years. just attack the what were they, mud crabs? I knew I would be putting myself outside the comfort zone. Hey, you know what's crazy about putting yourself outside the comfort zone, folks? Eventually, the comfort zone gets bigger. Eventually, the area outside the comfort zone becomes part of your comfort zone. So, step out of your comfort zone. Touch a little of the uncomfortable grass. See what happens. Those splatters were his therapy. Pollock therapy pieces. It's true. It doesn't have to be fast. The Murlocs, not the Murlocs. They were the mud crabs outside of Cyrodiil. It's just outside of Cyrodiil. Yeah, like Hellbolt is learning Japanese. It's not easy. It's a little bit at a time. By the way, Hellbolt, I have something for you that's going to be coming in the mail soon that you may have mentioned. That you don't know is coming, that you talked about when Kate and everybody was in studio. A little gift for you coming. Money Mitch says, hey, DC, can I pick something up at Revolution? Yeah, what do you want to pick up at Revolution? Jason, do you know who Ralph Steadman is? Pondering. So I was we are renting an apartment here in California. We have a house in New York. We're looking to rent a little bit bigger of a place because our son is getting bigger and needs more space. So we're looking at renting a house, and we're looking at that place. And as I walk in, my wife and son run to just check everything out. And I noticed this gentleman has some Ralph Steadman artwork on the walls. And I was like, oh my God, that's Ralph Steadman. I love Ralph Steadman. And he goes, wait, you know Ralph Steadman? And I'm like, yeah. And I started listing off some of his works and some of his collabs. And he's like, wow, you really are a Ralph Steadman fan. And his wife goes, he's a friend of his. And I was like, excuse me? I baking powder? She's like, yeah, they're friends. They work together. They made playing cards together, filled with original art. And he's like, here, have some, because you will appreciate them. I was like, what? These are like $25 a pack. They're very expensive cards. So I go to look at a house to rent, and the person who is currently renting it gave me gifts. So it was a good day. I now have some really cool Ralph Steadman cards. One of them was already open, so I opened them up and took a look, and they're great. And then he brings me to a room that is filled with original artwork by Ralph Steadman. And I was like, oh my, this is a cool house. So we're taking it. We already we applied. We believe that we're going to be getting it because the person who is renting it is a friend of Doug's, and basically said, I'll have the contract tomorrow. So we more than likely are a yes, since he's drawing up a contract. So we'll be moving on or before June 1st. which means I am going to be so busy because if you remember, I have a con at the end of May. So we're probably going to move like 4 days before. I don't know. We have to work out the kinks. The other Comic-Con, yeah, complicates the move-in date a scotch. Because June 1st is on a Monday. So it is possible that we are going to move all of our stuff on a Thursday, go to Comic-Con, and arrive at a new home on that Monday. That is a possibility. How many stairs? So it's a 2-story. 65% is going on the first floor. I can't lift anything. It's a 2-story house that we're renting, so we have both. In theory, we could put everything but the mattresses on the first floor and slowly move them up as they go along. I will probably be recruiting people to help. Last time I just flew in a relative to do the heavy lift. I can't lift anything. Like my neck and my back, I can't. And hiring people is super expensive. This is also usually the time of year where we'll decide what we're throwing out and throw out a lot of stuff and just buy new stuff when we get there. I heard a ding. Come on, phone. Un momento, por favor. Oh! Money Mitch, did you just buy yourself a birthday present? Hold on. It does not, Don. It is 1 mile away from where I am right now. It is 1 mile away from where I am right now. Am I super quiet tonight? Am I a little too far from my microphone? Is that the problem? Hold on. How about now? That is an original oil painting by Daniel Gonzalez of Batman. Is that small? It is sketch card sized. Sketch card sized. That's what she said. So now we got to get it in its holster. The water is cold. Shrinkage. That's what I wanted to pick up at Revolution. Yeah, man, I will palm this until Revolution. All right, there you go. Happy birthday, man. That's a little Batman oil painting by Daniel Gonzalez. Now, listen, it's small, it's standard sketch card size. And Daniel is, he is a fine artist. He has paintings that sell for between $5,000 and $15,000 at galleries. He is part of the VIFA Gallery here in California. Very well-known Western artist. Very sought-after artist, but he likes to slum it and hang out with us and do sketch cards and covers. Yeah, whichever one is the soonest one, I'll bring it with me, Money Mitch. And yeah, decided to do a couple of... we have a few left. If you go to the website, dcdcollects.com, you'll see we have a few left from his series. Some of them are markers, some of them are oil, some of them are gouache. As a matter of fact, all of the oil paintings are gone. So everything left is either gouache or marker. That one is marker. That one is gouache. Yeah, these are all... This one is gouache. More gouache. And there's a Superman one, but I don't know if we're gonna sell it. I might pull that listing since I missed out on his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one. Haven't decided yet. Still have to see what the Gunslinger comic book is going to be. Hold on. Money Mitch, he's doing a gunslinger for you? You're the gunslinger? That's the one you decided to do at Wonder, right? I may already know what the composition is. Well, he did a gunslinger a while ago for us. But I know he was working on another one. And he was asking me something about the gunslinger pieces and asking me what I thought of an idea. It was pretty great. Well, listen, I mean, he's a Western artist, and Gunslinger is a Western character. It's a no-brainer to have him do that. Let me see if I can... let me see if I can do this. What does that button do? What does this button do? All right, I've given myself a little bit of a boost. Does that help with the sound? I don't want to go too high or it starts ticking in the background. All right, cool. Then, yeah, I think he was talking about yours then. It's going to be nice. It's going to be very nice. You'd rather be able to hear easily and deal with the ticking. Well, this is a 12 decibel boost. Excellent. Excellent. We'll stick with the 12 then. 12 is good. I'm not hitting the yellow. I'm just below the yellow. Hold on. Pop. Yeah, I stay in the green. So this is probably about as high as I can get before I get a distortion tick. So, Money Mitch, what have you gotten for your birthday besides a Batman card? I gotta sit up straight. My posture is starting to hurt my neck. You know, I really should Google where I'm going to be in the month of May. All right, so Comic-Con Revolution is first. That's May 16, 17. Which means we're in Vegas the last weekend of May. Oh, that sucks. Someone reminds me to close the gate in May. I'm coming for you, Sapphoros. All right, folks. Here's what I got to do. Yeah, Money Mitch will be there. Daniel Gonzalez, unfortunately, is not going to be able to make Vegas. He did call me to inform me that he's not going to be in Vegas, so we're not going to have him with us. But we'll have Money Mitch, and that's all that matters. 2.5-foot gate, I definitely cannot scale that. I would blow out a knee. I am going to get out of here, folks. I have an anti-inflammatory to take. Draft tomorrow. Let's take the raid we have and let's raid out. Let's see who's cool. Wow, there's no artists on. Maybe we won't raid. Maybe we'll just call it a night. As much as I would love to keep the love going, I don't have any of our regulars here. So we may just end it. Wait, who's this? Is that? No. Ooh. Yeah. All right, we're going to call it a night. Folks, it's going to be a long week. Tomorrow we have the draft. The following day, not only do we have the draft, we have some cards. And it's going to be fun. So I need to tell you something, though. Even though it has been pretty painful with the spinal stenosis and the herniated disc in the neck, I want you to know one thing that is very important. I love you. I love all of you. Thank you for hanging out with me and putting up with shorter streams because of the pain. I appreciate it. I am going to be toughing it out tomorrow and try to be as long as I can. Hopefully I'm going to get the full draft in. Hockey Metal has PMG blue hot boxes. That's insane. Take care of yourselves and each other because you're going to want to be here tomorrow and Friday. Neon is going to be fun on Friday. The draft is going to be fun tomorrow. You'll get to see my reaction in real time. But anyway, take care. Have a good night. Again, I love you all. And be safe.